Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has claimed that his government possesses interesting intel on the location of Iran's highly enriched uranium, days after a US-led bombing campaign targeted key Iranian nuclear facilities. Speaking to reporters at a security briefing, Netanyahu said Israel was closely tracking Tehran's nuclear progress and asserted that his government is aware of where Iran is storing its stockpile of 60% enriched uranium, roughly 400 kilograms, according to recent assessments.
You asked about the enriched uranium. Look, we're following that. We've been following it very closely. I can tell you it's an important component of nuclear enrichment. It's not the sole component, not a sufficient component, but it is an important component, and we have interesting intel on that which you will excuse me if I don't share with you.
The remark comes amid growing questions about the effectiveness of recent US airstrikes on Iran's underground enrichment facilities in Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. While President Donald Trump and top administration officials claimed the strikes had effectively eliminated Iran's nuclear capabilities, a preliminary assessment by the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, paints a more nuanced picture.
And our B-2 pilots made this all possible. They had a magnificent hit in the dark of night with no moon, no light, no nothing. They hit the target perfectly, wiped it out. And the press is very disrespectful.
Three sources familiar with the classified assessment told Reuters that the strikes likely set back Iran's nuclear program by only a few months, far short of the administration's public messaging. The DIA report has reportedly sparked disagreement among intelligence agencies, with one source suggesting that satellite-based analysis might not reveal the full extent of damage to deeply buried targets like Fordow. The White House dismissed the DIA's findings. Spokesperson Caroline Leavitt told CNN that the alleged conclusions were flat out wrong, echoing Trump's earlier declaration that the strikes had obliterated Iran's nuclear ambitions. Netanyahu, meanwhile, maintained that the Fordow facility had been damaged in Sunday's strikes, which reportedly involved US B-2 bombers deploying bunker-busting ordnance. However, he acknowledged that the full scope of the damage remains unclear. Justifying Israel's continued campaign against Iranian assets, the Prime Minister said Israel had to act in response to what he described as Iran's rapid acceleration toward nuclear weaponization, a shift he claimed followed the assassination of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in September 2024.
Why now? So it's not really now. It's actually a directive I gave to the top security echelon over half a year ago, in November 2024. I have it here, a directive to eliminate Iran's nuclear program. This directive came shortly after the assassination of Nasrallah. It was clear to me and to others that with his elimination and the breaking of the Iranian axis, which was one of the foundations for the destruction of Israel, Iran would quickly advance its nuclear program, and that's exactly what it did.
Netanyahu also accused Tehran of expanding its ballistic missile program, alleging it now aims to produce 300 missiles per month. Netanyahu's comments underscore a growing gap between the Biden-Trump-era security establishments over intelligence interpretations and strike outcomes. While Washington insists the strikes have dramatically degraded Tehran's nuclear infrastructure, independent experts caution that Iran retains critical components and technical know-how that cannot be destroyed by airstrikes alone. Tehran, for its part, continues to deny any intention to build nuclear weapons, insisting its enrichment activities are for peaceful purposes. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, recently confirmed that Iran's uranium stockpile remains below weapons-grade levels, though its quantity and enrichment levels continue to increase. Iranian officials have accused Israel of manufacturing threats to justify military escalation, warning that continued aggression will provoke a firm and proportionate response. As regional tensions escalate, Netanyahu's comments suggest Israel is preparing for the next phase of its confrontation with Iran, one driven as much by intelligence maneuvering as by missile strikes.